Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to decode the language that powers literally everything, from that little food truck on the corner to the biggest corporations on the planet. I mean, seriously, think about it. How could they possibly have anything in common? Well, the surprising answer is they absolutely do. They use a universal language of numbers to tell their story, how they're performing, how healthy they are, and today we're going to learn how to read it. So, to get a handle on this language, we first need to understand who's doing the talking. Let's start at square one and ask the most basic question. What exactly is a business anyway?
When you boil it all down, a business is pretty simple. It's an organization set up by people to do, well, business, to trade or sell something with one main goal in mind, to make a profit. That's it. It's the fundamental building block of our entire economy.
Okay, so before a business can even say its first word, the founders have to make a huge decision about how to structure it. This choice really defines its voice, its legal standing, the risks it can take, and what it can ultimately become. So take a look here. We've got the three main ways you can set up a business all laid out side by side. And you can see the trade-offs right away. A sole proprietorship is super simple, just one owner. But look at that liability. It's unlimited. A corporation, on the other hand, protects your personal assets, but you don't run the show directly. A board of directors does. These are really, really big decisions. First up, we've got the sole proprietorship. I like to think of this as the solo musician. You have total creative control, you keep all the profits, it's all you. But here's the kicker: unlimited liability. That means if the business gets into debt, they can come after your personal stuff, your house, your car, it's all on the line. Next is the partnership. So if the sole proprietorship is a solo act, this is the band. You bring in different people with different skills and more money. This collaboration can lead to way bigger success. But just like in a band, one person's bad decision can bring everybody down. If one partner messes up, everyone is on the hook. And finally, we have the full orchestra, the corporation. This is a whole other level. The law sees it as a separate person, an artificial person. And that's its superpower, because it creates a legal shield. It's called limited liability, and it protects your personal assets. The trade-off? Well, you can run into something called double taxation, where the business pays taxes and then you pay taxes again on your share of the profits. So, once a business is formed, it doesn't matter if it's a solo act, a band, or an orchestra. How does it tell the world how it's doing? How does it communicate its financial health? Well, this is where accounting comes in. Accounting is the official language of business, period. It's the system that takes all the complicated stuff that happens every day, every sale, every purchase, every investment, and turns it all into a standardized story that we can all understand. I absolutely love this definition because it calls accounting an art, and it is. It's not just about crunching numbers. Sure, you record things, but the real art is in the classifying, the summarizing, and especially the interpreting, turning all those numbers into a story that actually means something. You know, a really helpful way to picture it is as a system. You've got your inputs, all the day-to-day financial transactions. Then, those inputs get processed according to a set of rules. And the output? A nice, clean set of reports that people can actually use to make smart decisions. So, how is this language actually built? Just like any language you and I speak, accounting has its own grammar, its own set of rules. And these rules are what make sure every business is telling its financial story in the same way, so it's consistent and understandable. This 6-step process you see here, that's the grammar. It starts with spotting a transaction, then you record it, you classify it with other similar things, and then you summarize it. But it doesn't just stop there. The real value, the magic, is in analyzing and interpreting what it all means, and then finally communicating it to the world. It's this process that makes every story reliable. All right, so if accounting is a language that tells a story, who's the story for? Who is this audience that's so eager to hear it? Turns out, the audience is split into two big groups. You have your internal users. These are the people on the inside, actually running the show. And then you have the external users. That's everyone on the outside, looking in, trying to figure out what's going on. So on the inside, you've got managers using this data every single day for budgeting and making big decisions. The owners, of course, are watching it like a hawk to see how their investment is doing. And even the employees have a stake. They want to know the company is financially healthy because that affects their paycheck and their job security. Now, the external audience is even bigger. You've got investors trying to decide whether to buy or sell stock. You have banks looking to see if the company can pay back a loan. The government needs to make sure taxes are paid. And get this, even customers might check out the financials to make sure their supplier is stable before signing a huge contract.
So at the end of the day, this is about so much more than just numbers. Understanding how businesses are structured and how accounting works means you can read and interpret the most important stories in our economy. It's the language of success, of risk, of opportunity. And now you know the basics of how to speak it.